Okay. Jazza is a guy on the internet. Jazza is a very well-known internet artist by other people. I was introduced to him only after kind of going down the rabbit hole at the start of my streaming career, so to say, by covering his much more controversial older brother, Shadiversity. Shad Brooks and Jazza Brooks are the brothers, right? They both achieved internet success on their own, going in individual directions. Shadiversity is kind of a dog shit older brother. I'm saying that as an older brother. God, fucking, I'd hate to be around. Sometimes when you see other older siblings acting in a certain way, it bugs you. I don't know how to say it any nicer, but I won't get into all that. Shadiversity is well known on this channel. I probably don't really need to introduce him, but I will do it for the video. As a bit of a sort of universal charlatan. Shadiversity, particularly in 2023, gained notoriety in pretty much every circle that he has a hobby interest in by being dog shit at whatever that thing was, and also insanely outspoken about it in the most no one fucking agrees with him way. It was nuts. It was kind of psychotic. There are things that he's good at that aren't particularly massive interests of mine. He does fight breakdowns that people seem to be pretty appreciative of. He does, or used to do, a lot of stuff on making castles, right? From what I understand, I think maybe he's gotten a little bit back to that. I'm going to cover some Shad stuff in the next few weeks, mostly because he's an Australian talking about our election. I'm just tickled pink thinking about what he has to say about it. This isn't about him. This is going to be about his brother. Now, the reason I have to bring up Shad is because this video that we're going to watch is about AI art. Jazza is an artist, and Shadiversity's main thing, and the reason I found him in the first place, basically, is he was a massive proponent of AI art as a creative tool in the sort of explosion of that in the early months of 2023. And that's when I started my show. If you've been here long, if you're an old head, you've probably seen the me on Shadiversity. I'm your wife now, and all that stuff. He's a goofy goober, and there's videos online, and I'm not going to get too much into their relationship as brothers, but there's a whole thing that everyone likes to talk about where they're trying to do a role-playing game. Jazza, who was a professional artist, if you don't like his style, that's okay, but he's technically proficient. He's like, you can be a 0, a 1, or a 2 in the proficiency in this game. And I think as an artist, I'm a 2. And Shadiversity did this. It's like a fucking scene out of Succession. If you guys have ever seen that, I think that I'm a 2 in alt proficiency as well. Whole thing. I've watched the Shad video in forever. I'm fucking his accent up now. And it's just painfully awkward. And like, it's like, okay, well, you can just be a 2. He's like, well, no, I need you to accept that I'm a fucking 2. You need to accept that I'm a 2. And that's like, oh God, oh no. So it's this whole thing. Since Shadiversity was for a while the like internet poster child for being a just charlatan AI artist, and that's how you get talking about his books and then his bad sword fighting technique and this whole thing. He is, that, and Jazz is a real artist, and so obviously people for the last year or so have been pretty poignant about, hey, Jazza, you want to fucking weigh in here, buddy? Because also Jazza is a little bit on the progressive side from what I understand, and Shadiversity is very much a conservative Mormon Australian and does the whole, barefoot and pregnant wife, get married, have kids, be conservative thing, right? Not necessarily bad, but that's like his standpoint. On top of that, he adds not fairly unreasonable amount of homophobia. Transphobia, all that shit. He hates wokeness in games, that whole fucking thing. He's had some pretty fucking negative comments about this and that. I think he said some slurs here and there. Who gives a fuck? Jazza had to answer for that stuff because Jazza's audience is not like Shadiversity's audience, but they are brothers. And so, they're like, hey man, do you agree with your brother on things? Which is pretty fucking reasonable to ask. And he had to go like, can I just say that there's things that people have said that I don't agree with? And so like that was the last time I saw a video where Jazza was like basically boxed into a corner, forced to talk about his older brother, which is both, it's one of those things where it's both very unreasonable and also like extremely reasonable. It's like a horrible contradictory position, because you really shouldn't have to answer for like your idiot brother's issues, but like the way that the internet information economy and how communities engage with creators really does force you to do something. It can easily force you to do something that would be typically a fully fucking unreasonable ask IRL. You know what I mean? Just completely fucking insane. You know, I mean, if you really think about it, it's kind of like your work friends, right? Like you have one guy who's like a shithead, right? Your brother's shitty work friends. And for some reason, like you in a completely different industry, you know, like, or like working somewhere the fuck else with an entirely different customer base and management, all that, just somewhere the fuck else, you know, your work friends are suddenly like, dude, you've got to answer for your brother's work friends. You're like, wait, what? And his comments to his customer base. I mean, what the fuck? What do you mean? Like that would be a big ask for somebody in normal circumstances. So I'm just going into this with I don't know how Jazz is going to respond because I haven't watched any of it, but like, I feel for the guy. I feel bad for Jazza for having, not like, oh, your brother's a piece of shit and you should hate him. Your brother's very controversial and Jazza clearly tries not to be and gets sucked into his older brother's vortex while trying to do his own thing. And that's a shit situation. I just want to say I respect it and I feel bad for the guy ahead of time. Am I going to still make the video? Fuck yeah, I'm still going to look at this shit. It's important. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But like, man, Jazza, that sucks. Sorry, bud. God damn. So Sam's husband's brother will never have a YouTube channel? I hope not. Oh my God. Lessons from Peanut. Tyler talks about his little brother. This kid is awesome. He's an engineer. He builds bridges. He's cool as fuck. Shad talks about his brother. Yeah, he's an okay artist, but I have a better artistic eye. That's true. I have an autistic eye. Yeah, he says basically like, I might not be able to move the pencil as well as the average person, but like I have a better understanding of what makes things good. He's really the Rick Rubin of drawing Winx Club characters from the 2000s. Okay, I'm done. This is the video.
AI is harmful to working artists and a threat to a majority of modern jobs. We don't need AI. We never have. And this race to replace everything with AI is a race to the top for a very few and a drop to the bottom for everyone else. AI creates a path for a whole new plethora of people to engage in creativity and innovation. It democratizes creativity to an unprecedented level. AI is being trained on stolen...
Before he even gets into that, creativity is already democratized because if you have a fucking brain, you can just make shit up. The creativity is democratized. It was more democratic than anything because you can always just make stuff. It's kind of like the point. It's like anybody can do it if you do hard work. AI is giving a participation trophy to losers. So if you like participation trophies for fucking showing up and, you know, accomplishing nothing in the game and never working or striving to be a good player, if you're a participation trophy Andy, then yeah, I can understand this is democratizing the blah 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 blah. But no, man, it ain't like that. Okay, if I got to bring a gun into the fucking UFC ring, I would open a lot of new opportunities for different people to start fucking fighting for the heavyweight belt. Yeah, man. Yeah. It would really disrupt the fucking organization, but I think it would be a considerably different sphere. It wouldn't be good for everybody.
data and profited on by corporations who didn't do any of the work to create or even procure the data in the first place. If training AI is stealing, when it's just learning from things that we've created, then human artists are also stealing when they look at hundreds of artworks that inspire them and learn from that and apply those techniques to their own style. Art itself is learning from and producing inspired by everything that's been created before. So just because AI learns in the same way a million times more efficiently, better, faster than human artists doesn't make it stealing. It's being developed on our backs without our permission and then used to take opportunities away from us. AI art holds as much value as NFTs did. Do you remember that bullshit? Remember the controversy that arose when people realized how much energy NFTs took and how bad it was for the environment? AI is worse, consumes way more power, is growing way faster. They don't even know how they're going to be able to generate enough power to get the AI capabilities they want, but they're going to do it, charging forward at an unprecedented rate in a way that's going to have devastating and irreversible effects on the environment, let alone the devastating economic impacts of taking away people's jobs and leaving them no alternative. Yes, it'll
Give the other guy a chance to speak, buddy. White shirt over here spitting fucking. This is arguing with your own brother in your head. I love it. This is fucking, oh God, that's the, God bless you, Dark Jazza. I'm taking this one. This one's perfect. This one's fucking perfect. This is the thumbnail. I don't even care what it is because it's just gonna be funny. Thumbnail artist. The thumbnail is this, but with like Shadiversity behind him with like glowing red eyes, but edit Shadiversity's head into Emperor Palpatine's robe and just say like, let the laziness flow through you. Fucking awesome. Oh my God.
It'll use a lot of energy, but AI will lead to AGI and ASI, which will bring us new sustainable energy solutions, cure diseases at an unprecedented level, and help solve the climate crisis once and for all. Yes, in the near term, AI is going to replace jobs and take some opportunities away. In the same way that cars and trains were a threat to the horse and carriage industry, and the camera is a threat to painters. But new jobs...
Oh, Jesus Christ. Isn't it kind of crazy to compare software to hardware? First and foremost, like it's just such a non-equivalence because software, it's just not hardware. Software really has to prove itself over time. You know what I mean? It has to like be effective after a while. Hardware is hardware. A car, if you're like, hey man, you know wheels? Yeah. You know a wagon? Yeah. Do you know the fucking steam engine? Yeah. Gasoline. Right? Refined oil explosion in a fucking metal box makes the wheels go, and you can control the acceleration from the inside of the wagon, and you can also make it stop. That kind of fucking cracks. How fast can you go? Way fucking faster than a horse. It's pretty and goes farther, and also you don't have to feed it anywhere near as much. You should use fucking oil, and it gets pretty fucking far. That's great. That sounds like that cracks. Okay. Cameras do things that painting never could or tried to do. It didn't really replace painters. You know what I mean? Like, average dickheads weren't getting painted. like you weren't fucking, average assholes weren't being fucking painted all the time. Like, having somebody paint you was an extraordinary luxury. It was a flex. Right? The camera coming in to take a picture of you does not compete in the market of flexing that you have a gigantic picture of you that like the famous painter guy painted, you know, because it's like it's like a thing. Photographs are instant images. They're like commodity. You know what I mean? It's like literally, I just want to see what specifically was there in that moment. They can also take photos. They can capture a moment that is way too quick for painting. They do something completely different. Like it's an entirely different market. Like nobody was trying to paint slow motion. You know what I mean? Like nobody was trying to like, oh, I think I can capture this unique scientific phenomena, you know, like or this unique natural phenomena that lasts less than like 0.002. I think I could paint that. No one was No one was doing that. Painting's a completely different thing. Cameras cannot take pictures of the fucking inside of Goya's psychotic fucking mind, right? You know what I mean? Like Goya could not photograph the black paintings. He couldn't do that. You can photograph them because he painted them, but like there's no real overlap. It's crazy. I don't know who the fuck. They're like they paint. Like, I think usually there's one guy's like, no one's gonna paint anymore, which is just literally not true. It's always just been a thing that you can do because you can. Painting is imagination, so you can make things that don't exist. That's the point. It's really the big point of painting, is you can, like you can't photograph the Sistine Chapel's roof into existence because like you would have to go to heaven and take a picture of God and then put it there after you print it. It's just I don't understand that argument or who's making it aside from them. Like it's presented as a response to an argument that someone else is making, but I don't know who it is. It's not like artistic people. I'm a photojournalism major by degree. Like I got a Canon 5D Mark III. Like I've taken some fucking banger pictures in my life. Won some awards in the past now. But like I can't imagine any time where my camera would have been better than a painting and they would have been in competition for what I was doing or vice versa. You know what I mean? Like it's a different market. Painting was like used to do stuff that photos now do better, and maybe like that went away, but like all the rest of what painting does is completely fucking different. Terrible fucking argument. Terrible argument. I just don't get what it's really supposed to entail because it doesn't even fucking track with logic, much less lead to something that's actually like revelatory about the value of AI. To support Tyler's point, there's a term specifically for going out and painting in real time and plein air that only sort of became a thing with Monet, and he started after the camera. And that's like blurry, like momental, like speed. Like, fucking Monet. Am I thinking of Manet or Monet? Monet's not pointillism, is it? Is Monet the people in the park? And Manet is like that really beautiful orange sunset by the lighthouse. I can't fucking remember. Video killed the radio store. Video killed the radio star. Video killed the radio star. And only in America. British people still have radio stars. They like have radio plays all the time. You've got 700 million fucking hours of Doctor Who radio plays. Absolutely baffling. Video and radio are just completely like different things. But honestly, like video beat radio for specific things, and then what radio really is. Wi-Fi transmission through radio signals, podcasting, fucking later obliterated video. Isn't that nuts? Like, they switch back and forth as the market adjusts to which one is needed. So, like, video didn't even really make radio obsolete. Just how radio was used had to change. How audio production was used had to change. And now it's like a major thing. It's a fucking multi-billion-dollar industry for just audio alone.
And avenues for creative expression and leisure will become available. If you think AI art is bad, AI video generation is going to be even.
Monet was blurry yet. Okay, then I'm thinking of Monet. I guess I got Manet is the other way, right? Mayonnaise.
Worse. Video evidence will no longer be admissible in court because anything can be fabricated. People can make pornography of others without their consent. And of course, dead celebrities will continue to be profitable for media conglomerates who can continue to use their image and voices long after they're gone. On top of that, AI developers have no clue how to properly safeguard AI against misuse and barely have an idea even how it works, let alone how to control it. AI is just a path for corporations to get more investments and boost their stock value with shallow marketing gimmicks. Meanwhile, we can all see the purposeless dystopia that this is leading us to. It's the next step of progress for humanity. AI is already empowering small business.
Kushabaka, did I miss that? 10 pounds of studying. One thing about that has been irking me about AI is the use of the word trained. It's marketing meant to humanize the thing in people's eyes. We should use the word processing instead. Yeah, because if you take all the stuff out, it goes away. You know what I mean? So it's not like training. So like if I give you like 500 reference images and you learn how to draw, right? Then you've learned how to draw because you're a human being. If I like make you, if I hit you on the head, right? And you forget the reference images, right? Or you just age and start forgetting things because that's how fucking life works. You can still draw because that's the skill. The skill is interpreting the world and your imagination and whatever, you know, you need to, whatever the subject matter is, and turning it into an image via deft use of materials that change the pigmentation and value of a specific medium. Like that's what painting, drawing, etc. is. AI requires this, like, basically it's like a series of silk screens. I go over this a bunch of different times. With generative images, you need the reference images permanently, like, in there. It has to be able to reference what its understanding of a dog is again and again and again and again. And you have to like use these things in order to create the permanent record, essentially, of what a dog is, right? So there is no new dog. There is just dog. There is the tag dog. It is permanently dog. And the AI will shake together what the tag dog means plus the tag realistic. Dog plus realistic equals X. It's inherently diminutive, right? It always goes down. You have to add insane amounts of new shit, and it won't ever make something different based on its interpretation of the possibility of things. It can only reach the top of finite, whereas imagination surpasses finite. That's the point of imagination. You can make shit up that doesn't fucking exist. By adding things, concepts, sure, but AI can't do that. AI can't figure out what this combination truly is, you know what I mean? And like do it in a way that works. Because if it doesn't know how to mix those tags together the way that you want it to mix it together, it just fucking makes gibberish, you know? And it's also going to be its thing anyway. It's not like it's still you. It needs you. You have to be there. The modicum of creativity that you have does it. So you have to add the human element to get it to surpass what is possible, because unless it's been given access to human creativity, it can't do anything. So it can't learn. You know what I mean? It's not learning. It's refining. That's what it's doing. It's refining the success parameter of the tags being shook together by input from human creativity. Like, and you know, even if you suck at art and you're an uncreative person, as in you're just dull, you know what I mean? You're just bog standard, you're unimpressive. You are still creative. It's still your desires that have to be added into the machine. The thing is just your little bit of addition is after all of the other people have been fucking jacked. You gotta fucking rob all of them. Whereas a talented person, you know what I mean, can just recreate all of art kind of automatically. Like Da Vinci did Da Vinci shit. Like he studied and stuff under people, but then like he fucking transcended and it made everybody else better. Sure. But like he did his own thing. You know what I mean? Like he had to do it himself. The machine is just there. And the fact that it's a detriment to everybody else around it is fucking not great. You know what I mean? Here's how to describe it, basically. Imagine if you had a paper, right? And you're an actual artist. You are limited only by your skills. So you can practice. That paper can be filled with anything. An AI can only be filled with what's in the AI. It's a box of limited parts. That's the issue, right? You have to put additional shit into it, and still that might not achieve the result. And more importantly, it doesn't achieve the same result more than once, because there's an aspect of extraordinary randomness in the way that basically the digital Plinko machine puts everything together. So you can't do what professional art requires, which is be routine, right? You can't really animate with it because it doesn't routinely make something. Like if I get a Disney artist from 1945 or 60, whatever the hell it was, and say like, hey man, I need you to draw Pongo from the Dalmatians. Pongo, right? Hey, I need you to draw fucking 24 frame walk cycle for Pongo. Bang. You know what I mean? Hey, can you interpret that, make it a little bit more like lively and stuff? And you bang it out correctly. These systems don't do that. And it's because they don't have the human element, right? You just have to add more human to them, whereas the human's already a person. So it's a sub-valuable thing that it's just a bad tool that mostly exists more as a detriment to the people that are actually doing the thing than as a boon to the thing being done in a general sense.
Businesses and individual creatives to compete at a scale and in a way they never had the opportunities to before. AI is the most groundbreaking technological revolution ever since electricity or the steam engine. And the potential for AI to empower humanity...
That's fucking nuts. Comparing anything to electricity is wild. Like, I wouldn't even compare AI to the internet as far as what it can accomplish, because it's like the electricity, Jesus fucking Christ, it's one of the biggest things. It's like comparing it to steam power. You know what I mean? Like that was a big deal. Figuring out that you can fill a closed space with steam and it makes something move, and then you can attach anything to the moving thing, was a big deal, right? We still use it today. Nuclear power, fucking hot water. Dams, moving water. Usually even just turbines heating up water fucking anyway. Diesel plants. Oh, is the diesel doing? Yeah, the diesel's fucking heating up goddamn water. Coal is fucking heating up fucking water again and again and again. It's steam. Fucking steam, man. Steam's crazy. Steam turns into electricity. Crazy. AI. The entire world didn't change overnight. Fucking steam power. We steampunk. No fucking AI punk. Electricity, man, is nuts.
Humanity and help solve our most...
Ever listen to Zappa? His early 70s stuff's peak. Zappa is like almost too fucking cerebral for me. Some of his shit slap. You know, you got some fucking like poppy. Was it Dave's Garage? I can't remember. But then you get to like, dude, Zappa's crazy. Sorry. I'm sorry, Jazza. Fucking Zappa's nuts. If you guys want to go down a rabbit hole of like, hey, hold the fuck on, what am I listening to? Start listening to some Frank Zappa. Because you have like banger fucking, okay, hey, it's 1970. All right, yeah, I remember this era, pop songs. And then you have like the Black Page. And you're like, what is this drummer doing? Zappa is a fantastic human that really doesn't get enough notice. Very, very impressive musician. Kind of all over the place. Similar in my mind to like Danny Elfman, where you're like, wait, this is the same guy? And you're like, yeah, man. He's that fucking dude.
Challenging problems is unfathomable. If anything, AI will lead to more people in the long term being able to indulge in creativity because it'll lead to a post-scarcity society. A society where you don't need to figure out how to pay your bills with art, you can just make art. And people who haven't been able to be a part of that in the past will have more opportunities in the future than they've ever had before. I get it. You're sick to death of hearing about AI. But we need to talk about AI. The question is, can we? Is it even possible? Because the hardest part about having a conversation about something so divisive is listening. The purpose of this video is not to argue for or against either of these lines of argument, but it's also not intended to just be a fence-sitting exercise. I want to be productive, but it's going to be difficult because they both have legitimate points. Neither is completely right, neither is completely wrong, and it's going to be impossible for us to have...
With all due respect, I don't know what's going on at family get-togethers, but I feel like somebody's being fucking... I wouldn't be too surprised to find out someone's being a little ground down, because I don't... AI art as a discussion is not like... I mean, I'm not in Australia, but it's kind of fallen by the wayside as far as what is the most important thing to talk about in the moment. Grok is around, but Grok isn't. That's the Elon Musk X thing, but it's not like making waves. It just looks like the same shit from a few years ago. It looks like ass. Fucking, you can always tell. It's like weird, plasticky, gross, impossible shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, yeah, this is, it feels like junk food for your head. But, whatever. Okay, it exists. I hate it, but I can't hate it into inexistence. And it doesn't feel like I'm losing or gaining anything. And the whole conversation kind of fell by the wayside. Mostly we've been talking about like Stellar Blade and fucking whether or not various games are gay. We're the people that normally argue about AI art that kind of shifted to Goonergate shit. Maybe it was just me, but it's just like, I know people are dedicated to it. If you're like a hardcore, like all I think about is the AI, okay, sure, yeah. But like, it doesn't seem like I've been hearing as much about it because there's just been way more pressing things to hear about. But okay, I just wanted to say that because I have been thinking about it. I was like, I haven't talked about AI, but I also haven't heard much about it in a while. I've got weeks worth of it saved up to talk about things that people have asked me, and it's only like 4 or 5 fucking segments worth. You know what I mean?
To have any sort of reasonable conclusions or rational discussions unless we step back from the black and white of the argument and dwell in the uncomfortable grey. I want to share my opinions and experience, though it's limited, but also use this video as a catalyst to open up to yours so I can listen to you. So we can all listen to each other, but have the opportunity to have an actual conversation about all this. So I guess I've always considered myself as something of a creativity futurist. I have loved being at the
This man has so many fucking lights. God damn, I wish I was a fucking rich YouTuber. There's more on him. He's got all these on just to show off a chair.
Forefront of where technology and creativity
Mad
intersect.
bastard.
From the age of 11 in 2001, I was at the forefront of digital content creation and online platforms that had just begun. I have wholeheartedly jumped into the fray of every emerging creative technology that I've had access to, from the dawn of digital art and digital tablets to the first ever digital animation and art programs, and later to virtual reality, drawing robots, and as early as it began emerging, I was enthralled with the concept of AI art, which I'm
gonna love you what VR feels like the closest thing to AI art. VR is still like the most niche. Oh, are you doing a VR version of something? Like ever. It is like people were talking about VR 10, 15 years ago. I mean, really, they're talking about like 30 years ago. You guys remember fucking Virtua Boy? Virtua Fighter came out on the system that was looked like a fucking Saiyan scouter. You know what I mean? From the Frieza core. You play the worst game you've ever seen with literal fucking Timex watch graphics. It was a fighting game. 90s. But people were talking about fucking, you remember Meta? Facebook was like, we're going to make the metaverse, and the most like gnarly in-person thing ever. But like VR didn't really catch on. Like the people use it, it's cool, it's fine. Like I don't hate you for it, and sometimes it's like interesting. But it's one of those things where like the hardware is not there, the software is, and you can always get the software, but like the hardware is just kind of, it's not something that it seems like very appealing to people. It's like an overly involved and less good looking way to interact with things that I can, for the cost of a $15 handheld controller, play just as well and enjoy just as much. Maybe there's like a few niche titles for it, but you know what I mean? It's the same thing, the Kinect on Xbox. Remember the Xbox 360 Kinect? Same thing. That was virtual reality or whatever, but like kind of flipped, where you would just move and then the Virtua or the Kinect would check it out. The Kinect, by the way, if you guys didn't notice, the Kinect camera is like actually kind of like a technological marvel. It is the hardware. It's great. And people are like, we need to keep making these because they're becoming extremely valuable. This might be I might be a little bit outdated with this and somebody fixed the issue, but the Kinect is so good at what it does that people were actively hunting down the remaining Kinects to try to use them because it's so fucking effective and like what do you call that? basically like rebuilding the fucking connections so that the things could work with other programs, because like they were great ways to like map things and like try to figure shit out. Like the Kinect is crazy. I think it uses like a mix of like camera and LiDAR or something like that in a way that's like especially novel. So like the Kinect games, like Kinectimals, the game where you can like digitally pet a tiger when you guess where it is, kind of thing. Like that didn't catch on, but then people that do like scientific experiments and like cerebral, interacting with computers in like a 3D way are like, the Kinect camera was made by some sort of mad god, and all of the software that came with it was booger fuck. So you got to have both in the computer world. I have a Kinect too, and its sensors are wild. I mean, like, if you don't believe me, don't talk to some fucking tech people. They're like, they gush. I was like, what the fuck, a Kinect? Because I found out like my brother had one, I think, or no, I think it was my cousin, and like was like, oh man, I'm kicking myself. I'm like, why? And he's like, dude, I sold my fucking Xbox and got rid of it, but I just found like I looked on eBay. And like I just sold my Xbox and it came with a Kinect because it was like a like Christmas box, November, the whole package in a game. From back in the day. He's like, but the fucking camera's worth like $150, right? And I just sold it for like $5. I'm like, what, really? And like, I like down the line, people were like, yeah, dude, I fucking want to Kinect. I don't know if they're making more of them now, but for a while they were getting like valuable because people needed them for weird specific shit. I think, I don't know if there are people who are answering it. I think one of the earliest ones is mapping stuff. It was great for 3D printing because you could map with it exceptionally easy given the right program. The way it's able to map out my room to such precision is madness. Too bad the Kinect didn't recognize black people. Well, it was made by, probably some Japanese developers. Or some Americans, I don't know. VChat is mostly a sex thing now from what I see. That means it's catching on, but yeah. I see the most interesting things I've ever seen from Kinect are the guy, maybe multiple people, but it always feels like the same dude, who is Spider-Man on like a big bridge or something in Skyrim and does woo trick shots on like a dummy again and again and again. And then like people doing like VR chat. That's what the little Ugandan Knuckles dude that's like Latino, and he's fucking that shit's fucking hilarious. I don't understand a fucking thing he's saying, but if I ever see that little shitty VR model of Ugandan Knuckles, I'm watching the entirety of this. I don't give a fuck. Some cracked shit's about to fucking happen. If you're into 3D animation, look for a cheap way to get into mocap. A Kinect is really good for that. Oh yeah, they can be repurposed into medical scanners. Jesus fucking Christ. I really wanted, okay, I'm glad that everyone's, and I'm not crazy about this because it's not something that comes up very often, but it's an extremely interesting factoid. The fucking Kinect is it. I don't know why. I don't know enough about software and how computers and shit are made, but like people fucking love it.
You can see the history of on this channel. I made a video 7 years ago using Google Auto Draw and Quick Draw, which were algorithms made to reinterpret shapes drawn by the users into basically clip art. And it didn't work very well, but it was a start.
Does Google have a replacement for Bob Ross? They give me the Eiffel Tower. I feel like we're very quickly discovering the limitations of this tool. This is pretty bad, Spider-Man. Did I mean clarinet or hot dog? I give up.
And over the following years, there were plenty of gimmicky AI tech demos, basically, that I made entertaining content around and enjoyed playing with. And that's all it was, a toy. And an idea, pretty badly presented one at that time. It was always fun, it was a bit goofy, but there was genuine potential there that I found really exciting, and you guys did too, until it got scary. When DALL-E 2 emerged, I was all in. I was making videos at every opportunity, getting early access, and making all sorts of concepts playing with AI art. But as time went on, it became pretty apparent that there was controversy brewing as people became more educated on how these models were trained, and quickly the criticisms around the ethics of AI art and generative AI arose. Art communities began to speak out against the way these models were trained and the harmful effects on real artists and real opportunity for an already undervalued and challenging career path. And as a prominent art content creator, it was pretty clear that there was a line in the sand being drawn that you were either on one side or the other of. So I realized I needed to step back from making AI related content until I could figure out what my opinions were and understand more about everything going on. I guess I've been waiting for an opportunity to step back into the mix with clearer opinions, clearer ideas as to where I stand and what my thoughts on all this are. It's almost been 2 years since I stepped back from AI touching my content. I guess while I've been waiting for the conversation to be easier to have, or the ferocity of both sides of the argument to calm a little, well, it's only gotten more confusing and more divisive and more controversy have happened. And yet AI is more present than ever. It's only growing faster and it's becoming more ubiquitous. It's in our workplaces, our content feeds, our marketing, our products. And of course, companies are seeing the opportunities and only getting more greedy and cunning in how they try and get their sticky little hands on all the hard work we produce to train their models on. So at this stage, I really can't see things getting calmer or simpler anytime soon. So I've basically steered away from making any definitive statements or sharing any opinions for or against AI art. There are things I detest and disagree with or are fearful of. I've been scammed by AI art. I, for $99, purchased something that was advertised to me purported to be tutorial books by skilled artists that turned out to be AI-generated crap that I could learn nothing from, and was trained on really good artists that I should have been able to give my money to, but they weren't what was advertised to me, and I fell for it. And I'm sick to death of seeing lazy AI-generated crap in all of my content feeds. So on the one hand, I am against AI art. But on the other hand, I am about to share some of the ways in which I use AI art. And for those of you who disagree with AI art...
Oh, no. Here we go. Oh, no.
Art in general, keep in mind the point of this video is to see if we can have a reasonable, rational conversation about it without vilifying or jumping to conclusions, being willing to see other people's perspective. So, without any further ado... here's how I use AI art. Now, I'm an artist who's always been in the habit of using technology to empower my art. And with AI, I've used it as part of my early processes, my brainstorming and conceptualization, and as a means to expand the scope of the work that I create with artists I employ. For example, I've been developing a roleplay system called Gateway Roleplay, very much a personal project at the start. I plan to turn it into a product, but in the early conceptualization phases, I've been using AI to create card art. There's more been a proof of concept.
No. Oh, bro, who are you stealing to fucking make trading cards? Fuck, Jazza. Dude, that's not both sidesing it. You just said it's got a lot of problems. I'm going to ignore them and fucking capitalize on it. I'm going to make fucking trading cards. Bro, that's fucked. You skipped a character designer. That's the whole job, man. Don't you have fucking money? You got no. What? The early design phase is the most fucking important part. That you skipped out on the creative part. Okay, I'm gonna let him finish.
Concept and way for me to get inspired by the ideas, not a product in and of itself. In fact, we recently released the alpha to the patrons over on Tabletop Time Roleplay and replaced all of the art with our art produced by Alicia. There's nothing new or fancy with all the different cards. They're basically just put into a category that they share the art for.
Okay, fuck you, Jazza. I've been looking for a time to bust this out. I'm about to fucking dunk on professional artist and YouTuber Jazza, who I am profoundly disappointed with. I am not great at art. I'm not, okay? I'm okay now because I've been working for a while. I'm going to show you something. This is the card game I invented from scratch. It's called Moons. I drew all of this. I drew all of it. I'm gonna pop this up. If you guys didn't know, I made a game. It's like a fantasy version of I don't know. It's not like Uno or remotely. There's not really anything else that it's like that I know of. It might be similar to another game that in a country I haven't played before. It's just supposed to be fast. It's a fast-paced, casual card game that in universe, in my stories, All right. It accomplishes a lot of different narrative elements. I made this. I drew this skull. You guys might recognize it from the Discord. I designed this box. I wrote all this copy. I drew every single fucking one of these cards. I conceptualized it and I drew it from scratch. All of them. These are all different with the notable exception of some different cards. All of these. I drew all of them. All right. The new moon cards, those are the ones that are repeated several times. Look, this stupid fucking face. These are all phases of the moon. They don't look that great. This is my conceptual for a card game. I drew all of these. I can't remember exactly. I think it's 46 total cards. Okay? This entire thing. Yes, this one. When I released, this is a funny card. Hold on. I can't. Because it's my favorite. This is Steve Harvey, who is also a moon in my game. Okay, I will show you guys. I'm actually gonna be kickstarting this thing. This card deck has existed long before this, and I prototyped it. I tested it. This is a fucking card game I made, and I drew all of these. They're not all that great looking, right? But I didn't fucking. I would have never in my life thought this is the first card I drew. Look how dog shit the fucking shading is. I would have never in my fucking life considered using fucking AI to make something. I'm disgusted. Jazza, you're a lazy piece of shit. You actually should feel bad about yourself. I just fucking dunked on you. Fucking scrub. Making your little card game and cutting people out. Look at the fucking shit that looks. Your little fucking axes and stuff. I'm furious. Like, I'm actually like upset. I'm actually pissed at this guy because I was like, oh, I'm gonna have his back. This little motherfucker. You know how long it took me to do this? My wife was like, you're spending so much time on this. It took me fucking half a year to draw all the cards. And it took me like, before I even did that, it took me another like year and a half to write out rules, find out half of them didn't fucking work, play test. My original concept cards are ripped up bits of note card that I just drew the phases of the moon on. And then I recycled them and did a bunch of different shit and added new rules and changed things up. And it all had to fit within the mythos of my like expanded universe and the Westside fairy tales, the shit that I write. It took me forever to do this. Fucking forever. Right? I started in 2016. While I thought it up while I was working a night job. And yeah, my inspiration was the moon. I don't know. Yeah, using AI and write moon card game. I don't know. Maybe you can get to the same result that I did, but you're probably going to try to have to think of the one that I made to get close. 2016. I did not have a playable model of this until 2021, 2022. It took forever. I got married. I got engaged and married before I got finished. And I'm proud to death of it. It's actually really fucking fun to play. I'll introduce you guys to it at some other point. But I can't fucking believe I'm at that same level with this guy. And this shitheel fuck took the shortcut. You motherfucker. Like, I'm actually, like, I'm offended. Like, artist to artist, fuck you, man. Who fuck you. You're like fucking, sell your fucking lights, you prick fuck, and hire a goddamn character designer. Actually upset. I'm actually pissed. Like, I don't wish any evil on you, man, but like, that is insane. Like, you're crazy. I'm so fucking mad. I'm actually shocked. I'm actually fucking shocked, dude. Oh my God. I can't fucking believe that. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about this. You talked about it when it was literally just Cornella and I in here. Yeah, I think when you guys were here, that actually was probably just about 6 months after I got the actual like prototype deck in. This is the second, like this is the almost finished deck. There's another one that sucks, made out of way shittier cards. And I bought that prototype deck. It cost me $45 just to buy one like deck of cards. I think actually, no, it was two. It was a lot of money. Because I was prototyping a whole product. Like I was making something, right? It was an investment of my money and my time. And this prick fucking bastard piece of shit with thousands of dollars of fucking lighting equipment couldn't hire a fucking character designer because you wanted to make a point about like you can use this inferior tool to make an inferior product. I'm literally fucking stunned. This isn't performative. I didn't go and get in my closet and just make up an entire card game for a single fucking bit in a YouTube video. I'm fucking furious. I'm actually offended. I can't believe it's a thing that I tried to do, and he's just fucking. You're flooding the market. You're the bad guy. You're the rich bastard taking fucking jobs away from working people. God damn it! You really are fucking Shad's brother. Fuck.
You can sort of see how AI was part of that initial process of getting the ball rolling and making something feel real. Speaking of Alicia, those of you who follow this channel know that she's an artist who's worked with us for over 3 years, well before this AI stuff kicked up. And Alicia works more for us now than she did even when she started. So AI hasn't done anything to reduce her workload. If anything, we've found it's given her more opportunities. Take, for example, the opening animatic to our recently launched roleplay series, Lucha Vera, which wasn't going to be a thing we would have made unless we had AI's help. The very early prototypes of the animatic were pretty much solely scrapped together AI art, purely because of all of the effort and work needed to go into the motion and the transitions, and it gave us something to really anchor to in the creative process. The process then turned into one of creating the art all the way from scratch, but of course, using some of those anchor points as a foundational element.
Whose work was that, Trey? You've become an enemy of the people in like 3 simple minutes. You're the bad guy. Jazz is the fucking bad guy now too. Hire a concept artist. It'll look. This is generic shit. This is generic shit. Generic fucking bullshit. Average, mid. Don't make me start. Don't make me fucking start art critiquing. Oh my fucking god, dude.
Element.
Oh my fucking god, man. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm having a fucking moment, dude. Oh my god. Phanatik, thank you for the resub.
The final animatic is 100% painted by Alicia, but of course it points into and the much solely scrapped together. We had art purely because of all of the effort and work needed to go into the motion and the transition.
It's fucking Altair.
And it gave us something to really anchor to in the creative process. The process then turned into one of creating the art all the way from scratch, but of course, using some of those anchor points as a foundational element. The final animatic is...
That's not from scratch. That's not from scratch. You didn't make it up. Someone else made shit up, and then you fucking chopped all their shit up with a program and fucking took it so that you didn't have to think and design stuff. This is ass boogers. What the fuck is this? What are these characters? What am I supposed to learn? Jazza, do you not know how fucking art works? Oh my god. I'm having a bad moment. I'm having a bad moment. Let me show you. Because sometimes people look at art and they see like fucking like technical proficiency or what they think of as technical proficiency. Let me show this off. Okay. Do you have this up here? Kill Mickey Mouse, can I show off a thing from you? Right. Oh, I don't even have it ready. I might just be trying to calm down. I'm going crazy. I'm going fucking crazy. This. Okay. Kill Mickey Mouse drew this. He's the guy that did the opening animatic. I'm sorry, man. This is more than likely very okay for me to share. This is like Miss Phanatik, right? This is a whole thing. Do you see that this is the dynamic camera angle, right? That leaves little room for like adjustment. This is specific. Do you see the intent? Do you see the expression of value She sat in the third over here. We have this shadow. There's blood on the walls. Do you understand how much narrative is going into this? Right? Like how much there is to interpret. There's intent. That's what the creativity is. It's I want something and I'm refining my desire through the trial and error process of making. And I'm only using me. You know what I mean? If you can't understand this, or you feel like it's too much like I'm describing the other thing, there's a surfeit of language. And it's really just the issue is trying to break this thing down so the fucking kind of people that would use AI art can understand. If you can't understand the difference in quality between this and this, you're kind of lost. There is no narrative intent. Do you understand? Like there's no immediacy. There is no scene being set here. It's this intermediate image. This is stock art, more than likely probably actually made out of stock art. It's trash. It's a placeholder. There is no direction. And if you start your creative process with a directionless slop, you're not going to fucking go anywhere valuable. Like what? First, we don't even need to get into it. But there's also a lot of what the fuck's going on with the construction and all that good stuff. Hands, obviously. But what is this? What we're eating a turkey? What are these seats? Do they have seats behind them? What the fuck is going on? What is this castle? Who are these people in these pictures? Why is the lighting this way? Like, what is the mood? What am I supposed to interpret? Am I supposed to just understand the existence of kings and queens and knights? Like, that's the point. If you can't get this, you're never going to get it. And you're never going to make anything valuable that's not, like, stolen. Pretty much. Like, you might be able to trend ride or something and get some cash, but you're not going to make anything that anyone's going to go, like, I want that on my wall until I die. You know? No one's going to consider the possibility of what if you had made another. If you can't get it, you can't get it. I'm fucking irritated as shit. Is using AI as a reference to make something else count as legitimate? No. Go find something else. The AI is made out of references. Just go fucking get references. What does the AI do for you that Google image search doesn't do? You know what I mean? And you can't get to the last bit. This is the ultimate issue too, is these can only be built from text and images, right? What do you think this sounds like in here? From the image, what do you think it sounds like? What do you think it smells like? What do you think it feels like? What do you think the mood in the room is? Like, what kind of, like, how would you feel if you were here? You know, do you understand, like, what came before and after this moment? Like, what is it like being in there? What does your skin feel when it touches the air? As opposed to this, you know, which I just had up. Do you know what I mean? Can you feel like the moment? Do you know like the moment? This is a moment captured through literally drumming up from nothing. Drawing, literally drawing out an image from nothing. That's what this is. This is rank fucking copy paste. It's collage at best. You know what I mean? Like the lowest form of interpretive art.
100% painted by Alicia, but of course it's clear to see that she used and benefited from AI in the process. And I used it.
Yeah, even if she drew it, if she's using AI as a reference, that's the emptiness of it. Like, what is that angle? What is the value of it? It's all robbed. And the presence of AI alone yucks it up. It does. It makes me deeply suspicious of the photo. And yeah, it does. Like, if it's like the thing is like, actually all of these were drawn by hand, bro, you fucking kind of poisoned them. You know what I mean? If you're like, hey, I'm going to show you a series of meals cooked by a pedophile, and at the end you say, if you saw all of these and you thought that they were bad, what if I told you they weren't made by a pedophile? And you're like, wait, what? You're going to poison your own well before I hop into this. That's fucking on you. But also some of this stuff just looks like fucking ass anyway. I don't know. Maybe that's the fucking tippity top.
Used and
place.
benefited
But also,
AI.
that doesn't even look like that other person. I saw her art style earlier. It doesn't look like it.
Process of expanding the scope of something that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to afford to do, at least nowhere near the scale that we were able to. AI basically allowed us to 10x the scope of what we could have done as an animated intro without 10xing Alicia's time, which frankly, like, I don't have 10x the budget for the intro. We just got 10x the result because we used AI as part of the initial workflow. A lot of these examples are actually from my roleplay channel because it's my lowest budget channel. It's the channel that I've always...
Did you know that you can get 10 times the amount of copper wire for your construction site if you find a reliable junkie to go strip all the copper wire out of the fucking housing project across the street?
skimped and saved on. Before AI, our roleplay backgrounds were, well, they were stolen. They were Google images that are flipped and blurred beyond recognition because we don't have the budget to, like, all of our budget goes into Alicia, our artist, creating the character portraits, and has always done. Now we use AI to create a lot of the background environments for our role-playing games because we don't have the budget.
Then you don't get it. Stop. You're stealing. That's what it is. I got something. You just described the same thing twice. It's the same motive. I can't afford this, so I'm taking something for free. Getting it from a guy who's like, don't worry, no one can find out where this comes from, does not launder the process by which you received the fucking stolen property. What in the fuck, Jazza? What in these? I liked the fucking blurred city better. If you're gonna blur, just go take a picture of outside. Do you know how fucking if your background's gonna be out of focus, just put blobs of color there. This is dude. This is crazy. Actual artists must be losing their fucking mind watching this. You know how easy it is to draw a background, particularly like to convey a certain depth of field. You just fucking color blotches. That's it. Do you know what a tree looks like when the depth of field is on someone that's really close and it's got you've got a low fucking f-stop on your lens? It looks like a fucking big blotchy green thing in the background against the blue of the sky. It's just nothing. Backgrounds are the fucking easiest thing to draw as long as you have a sense of place. And if you don't give a fuck, just take a fucking picture. You could have just taken a fucking picture and like posterized it. What? There's so many other things to do. This is like legitimately trying to launder AI as effective creativity. What in the fuck? You're out of your fucking mind. He's lost his fucking mind. Dude, that is insanity.
Budget to go beyond that, beyond the character art that Alicia very wonderfully creates. I mean, look at that. Basically,
look the difference. Look how much. It's a completely different looking thing. It doesn't match the backgrounds at all. If she draws in this kind of big blocky style, do you know how to draw this in this? You just use a green brush and go blub, 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 blub. After you fill in this purple mountain, and then you add a little bit more blub, 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 blub. If you want to make it even more detailed, you just keep fucking painting on it. But like, you would be good with just a little just knowledge of how light works. You could just go fucking take a picture of a fucking mountain. No, I guess you can't because you don't want to spend any money. But like, you could just buy the picture. Getty Images will sell you a dog shit ass picture of a fucking Swedish countryside. You can go buy a picture of the fucking Alps. Okay, I know where This looks like the fucking German Alps or the Swiss Alps. Fucking, you should go buy a fucking picture for $10 from Getty Images and then blur it. You get the same fucking effect.
The AI environments are just a garnish and background flourish to the true performer in the art, which is Alicia's stunning character painting. But in the sake of full confession, something like our Tabletop Time roleplay Christmas special was...
Yeah, the plastic. This is, the with the missized tits. Yes, this is... Look at the fucking...
entirely AI art. The frame, the characters, and the environments were all produced with AI.
I know, because it's the same fucking expression on all these guys. Look at this fucking eye. You did it because you needed to seem creative. You did it because you wanted to con your fucking audience into thinking you were an imaginative person and a hard worker and someone that put effort into shit. It's a con job. It's a fucking con job. You conned your fucking audience, you dick fuck. You better have fucking told them every fucking time that this was AI. Because if you are selling any artistic products, you're committing fucking fraud at this point. Like, unironically. Hey, learn to draw like Jazza. And then you've got this shit and you're fucking selling anything that's creative from you. You are just literally defrauding your fucking audience. Because you're convincing them that you're a harder working, better artist than you actually are. I'm losing my fucking mind. I'm losing my I cannot believe this guy. Dude, how this isn't both sizing it. This was paying fucking lip service to the fucking arguments of the people who are gonna roast him over it, and then fucking whitewashing AI dog shit. The worst kind. He didn't even fix this one. Laziness. Whitewashing laziness. The whole time. Did you just want to do Critical Role and not have to spend money? Did you just want to do Vox Machina and not pay everyone to make Vox Machina? Is that what it is? I've lost my... Do you know... Have you guys ever seen Dungeons and Dragons, whatever the fuck? You know what I'm talking... the fucking clown from space, Chuckles. I wish I knew which way to go, whatever that fuck... there's shorts for that on TikTok. Just look up the fucking Dungeons and Dragons space clown. They're drawn like dog shit, so to say. Very simplistic, real rough, but they have so much fucking spirit in them. So much life. It's awesome. It's very, very fun to watch. Super simple. Bloop. Draw a circle, little eyes, head. You know what I mean? Basic fucking... Anyone can do it. But you want to create the impression of effort and taste without doing anything. Instead of just saying like, hey, we didn't have time. All my cards look like... Some of these cards look like fucking shit. Bring up the goddamn cards again. Some of them look like fucking absolute ass boogers, okay? And some of them look good. So I got this is one of the first ones I drew. Not great. One of the middle ones I drew. A little bit better. Tried a different art style. Fucking mid. I know you can't see these very well. And then some of these, like when I really started practicing, they started looking kind of fucking slappy, right? If you want to see all these, you can just join my Patreon. I have them all posted there. I love this guy. Fucking Greater Crescent. He kind of slaps. He kind of goes hard. He's a little guy. But like, I worked on all these. All these backgrounds are just Photoshop with like a simple brush to make a galaxy. I didn't fucking download that. That's the background. It's just a fucking splatter brush with yellow and white. And then it's a different one for the different colors of card each time. Like, these demon cards, I just use the color red and it works. Because it's basic fucking color theory. They're white and black characters. What's the best background? Red looks great. It's very striking. Like, those are the decisions that I use to make. The decision for this is I want to make money and not spend money to make money. Which is theft. And everybody steals here and there. You know what I mean? People have been known to download Photoshop without paying for it. But this is fucking psychotic.
Because there was no budget, there was no time. It was a one-off special, and I wanted to do a Christmas special, and I did it in my spare time, and a lot of it was done at about 5 in the morning because that's the only time I have time to do anything for me. It was a personal expression. It's put on the Tabletop Time channel. Yes, it's monetized, but we don't make any money from it. But my point is, without AI, it wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have had the budget to have the Christmas special art be put together by Alicia because I was already paying her to do the art for our main campaigns. I'm sharing this purely for the sake of transparency because I can't throw stones or accuse any side without just being upfront and honest about the real situations in which AI is beneficial to fledgling studios.
The classic comic artist doing splatter effects. Bro, Kirby Crackle, right?
As an independent artist, I am not an enemy of art. I am obsessed with creating and sharing. And I do everything I can to create opportunities for creative people. Does that make me a hypocrite because in some small ways I've used AI art in some small productions? Maybe.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. I mean, that is the point of this video. I want to talk about it. Maybe my position would change. Maybe with some more education, I would undo that or do things differently. But maybe people who disagree with it might see the reasons for it. So while I'm in the mood to...
I'm reacting to this extremely viscerally because it's very fucking... I'm a little up the wall. I expected better from a guy who's markets themselves as an artist. It's kind of the same thing with Ergo Josh. I'm kind of like I'm a little fucking tweaked about it. And it like the card game made out of AI just like stabbed me in the fucking heart. So like I'm offended. This is why I'm so upset. I would talk to Jazza about this and not get upset. Okay. Don't take this as the final word. I'm fucking lit, but I would talk to you about it. Chill. Understand that. I know there's a difference of size and audiences, but I unironically have heard other people online talk about AI art, and I think I'm probably one of the better anti-AI art people to talk with someone. Maybe I'll just reach out to him. I have no idea if he'll say yes or no, but it is what it is. This is very, very bad. This is very bad. Am I possibly being hypocritical? Usually means that you're skirting the line closer than propriety should justify, and you're probably being a hypocrite because you don't really feel like a hypocrite when you're not engaging with hypocrisy.
To confess, I want to be real with you about my whole art journey. I've technically been stealing ever since I started creating. I have drawings here that I made when I was 10 years old. This was one of my original characters, a super villain, alien. Remind you of any short, high-pitched, Kakarot-hating villains?
Not the same thing. Also, practice. Also, aspect of monetization. Also, a child. That is not a very compelling argument for these are the same things. AI arts and everybody practices off of other shit. It's not so that you can internalize other people's way of making stuff. It's so that you can learn how to make your body move things in a way that changes the medium to reflect what's in your mind until you get so good at it that you can think and then make. That's what being a master is. That's what literally being a master is. The thing in your imagination can, through physical means and interaction with simple medium, become real, right? That's kind of the fucking point of it. Everybody practices. Everyone starts trying to interpret what other people do. I don't write like Stephen King. Stephen King wouldn't read my writing and say, oh, this is me. Do you know what I mean? Maybe some people would be like, oh, this feels like Stephen King. It doesn't. Trust me. The guy that knows. You know what I mean? I read a lot of Stephen King growing up. I read a lot of other shit too. But also Stephen King doesn't know what it feels like to stand out in the summer rain in West Virginia when you had a bad day. Stephen King doesn't know what the desert smells like at 7 a.m. on post. Stephen King doesn't know what it's like to fucking be murdered. Stephen King doesn't know what it's like to be me. Stephen King doesn't know what I know. And I don't know what Stephen King knows, right? It's all about execution. The similarity of styles is like a pedestrian assessment. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this reminds me of this. Yeah, maybe. Probably because you have a very limited vocabulary of books to choose from. You might crack off if you're like, actually, this kind of reminds me of Davis Grubb, but then you'd have to know who Davis Grubb is. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't think when I write in a series of like tags and tropes, which is like the thing that you kind of keep going back to with the fucking AI apologists. Like it's like the Vosh thing, where it's like, I have assembled this from a series of pre-existing concepts and notions and ideas. Who the fuck makes like that? I have a character maybe or something like that, but I've made all that up. I'm trying to accomplish a feeling. That's what the art is. It's not creating an image to be observed. It's capturing a feeling forever, a vibe, that's what a moment is. It is that finite bit of existence. And you can do it with fiction is psychotic. Everyone starts trying to learn by copying other stuff. But that's the fucking, like, comparing AI art to a 10-year-old that has no talent is pretty fucking telling. You know what I mean? Because that we're not talking about the people that are practicing and getting better. We're talking about the fucking economics of art and who doesn't get monetarily rewarded for the creation of these things. And you're putting the fucking thing that we are comparing to an untalented child ahead of people that have worked for it and have done it and can do it better by fucking every measure than the AI art. Like, because you can't train AI off of the AI, you know? Yeah, I can, any of the artists that are in my community, I could pay them $150 and be like, dude, you're going to give me a 1-week course and teach me how you draw. All right. And they could teach me a lot of their techniques. I might pick up a lot of them. Maybe in a perfect world, I pick up all of them. Right. Doesn't mean I'm going to keep drawing like that guy, because I'm not that guy. I have my own thing. I have my own weird way of wanting to accomplish shit. You can't learn how to draw from an AI because it's not creative. It can't teach you the most important aspects of it. All it is a very complicated and not very well fucking structured copy machine that mixes up different copies of stuff and shakes shit together in a randomizer. That's what it accomplishes. It has a finite capability. Human capability is infinite. It's infinite. That's the point. That's why the AIs aren't like, oh, well, we have one trained eye. Why not train every other AI off of it? And it's why every AI is becoming more and more recognizable, because it is based off a success metric. AI doesn't like what it makes. It doesn't care what it makes. It doesn't have the additional aspect of taste. It doesn't have the additional aspect of desire. It can only create a product. And so when it finds a success, it is designed to say, replicate success for something else. It's a slave. And so it will just reduce again and again and again the overall amount of decisions that it can make, or, tags that it will use, the different variations, in order to just constantly try to achieve a success condition, which is why all the AI art is looking more and more the same. More and more the same. Center-focused characters, that variation of plasticky and high photorealism, extra brushstrokey type of things. And now you're seeing some of them that have like exceptionally good hands, but other stuff is fucked up. And it's going to create a creative incest, right? It is going to put you in a position where you don't see anything new, because it can't make new things. It can't desire to add shit. And if you knock everybody else out of the fucking market, you won't have anyone else to steal from anymore. And it will just literally fucking intellectually incest itself out of value. And then you won't have anyone else, because you could cripple the fucking art economy by not having actual creatives make new, interesting shit. You know what I mean?
And then at age 11, we have my original character, Pyro, which may have been basically directly copying from a Deadpool picture I saw in a comic. I was just a kid, inspired by stuff. Wasn't monetizing it, of course, so that's fine. But then carry that on to digital creation. My early Flash animations used Linkin Park and Dragon Ball Z music, and I didn't give any royalties to Linkin Park. I did buy all the albums, though, and listen to them in the shower.
Yes, you are describing theft, but no one cared because it was Newgrounds back in the day. But yeah, that's copyright infringement. So that's a crime. But like not an extremely one. It's not like a criminal act. It's a fucking civil thing. You know what I mean? But you're a kid. No one gives a fuck about an amateur child, because the amateur child on Newgrounds is not fucking damaging the market for professional artists. It's not breaking the fucking code. You know what I mean? And closing the door behind everybody else.
As I cried.
Or
honestly,
ahead of everyone else.
Illegitimate use of copyrighted material has kind of become a meme in YouTube videos. Watermarked images that obviously haven't been purchased being used in videos. Stock video that obviously hasn't been licensed. Outright using footage from other videos, whether you're creating a video essay or just referencing another channel, you're technically monetizing someone else's work that you're incorporating.
That's bad. And people need to stop doing it. See Lore Lodge.
Into your own. Obviously, there's fair use and all that other stuff, but there is a grey line. Someone else produced the work. You're just recycling. This practice has existed as long as creativity has. It's literally the definition of a meme. So I kind of have used AI in a similar way, not as...
That's not what the definition of a meme is. With all due respect. A meme is like a Richard Dawkins thing. It's like the memetics, like literally like the genetics of fucking social interaction and how we develop as the mind of the species as opposed to the physicality of the species. It's very complicated, but I'm telling you right now, stealing content while it is a meme is not a definitionally what memes are. It's a whole different thing.
As a core of a production, and not even in anything I put out in a monetized way, but as a garnish or a momentum builder, a conceptualization process to my work. And honestly, I don't believe I or anyone else who uses AI should be berated for doing so, but I feel uncomfortable with seeing AI being used as anything more than a supplement to creativity. And I hate seeing the gross way AI is being monetized, proliferated, trained, and celebrated by some as an outright replacement for developing a craft. And I hate the way that this challenges people's rights to own.
But if you hate it, then why did you do that? Is the big question. If you hate that, like I'm confused. If you hate that that's happening, then why did you do it? Do you really hate that it's happening? It's kind of like it doesn't follow, right? Because you could have hired a concept artist, or you could have taken more time to work on something, or you could have adjusted your creative flow in order to accommodate the work time, right? You could have had I would love to have a really complicated, interesting background and thing for my outro on this stream, right? You know, like this little, you guys have seen this, right? I drew that one time, right? It took me fucking like 2 days to get that completely finished, that little fucking Miss Phanatik. And it was the only art I had on here forever because I refuse to steal art. And I don't like even approaching other people's copywritten shit if I can avoid it. Like, even fair use, I want to be as above board as like literally fucking possible. Fully changed, all that stuff. I would never use fucking AI art. I would like it, but I don't do it because it's wrong. When you're feeling like, I feel like this is bad and like people are yelling at me, but like I feel like I need to do it so that I can accomplish my own personal goals. That is sin, okay? That what you're feeling is what fucking break it down. Adam and Eve felt when God was like, yo, homie, what the fuck is up? And they're like, ah, shit, I got a big bad feeling. Hey, I've never felt this big bad feeling. I feel like I got to hide from you and slink away like a dog that just shit on the carpet. Yeah, that's guilt. That's shame. You sinned. To make it as religious as possible to kind of fucking break through. That is the nature of sin. You have sinned against yourself and your community and the fucking art the craft you pretend to practice. And now you feel shame. That I don't feel shame when I do things that other people don't like that I stand by because it's part of my moral character to do it. I may feel irritation, but if you feel shame, you may have done something wrong. If people that you respect are saying things that are harming you because of something that you've done that they say is harming them, you may be trespassing. You may be committing an act of harm against people. That's shame. That is guilt. You are the moneylender being stricken from the temple, okay? Like, God damn it. Yes, it is right to feel shame when you sin in the eyes of God. I don't know why I'm going so fucking popping off with this biblically, because it's a different thing. I don't even know what the fuck the Mormons actually like believe with that. I think Adam and Eve are like Missouri, right? But either way, like, to a biblical, what you're feeling is fucking guilt, man. You're doing the wrong thing. Like, stop. That's the stop point. You're a grown man. That's the like, shit. It's time to stop and reconsider if I'm fucking up.
And control their own creative output. I haven't spoken about my stance on AI for almost 2 years now. This is the first time I've done it in any sort of open way, and it's really uncomfortable. I don't know how to do this, and I don't feel like I'm doing anything in particular. I recorded this video 5 months ago, and it's just sat unchanged since. Partially because it feels very inconclusive, like I'm not really contributing anything concrete, but I also feel like I can't. On top of that, I can't help but see people who put any opinion that's even remotely neutral on AI art being attacked for their stance. Take the recent videos by Ergo Josh, where he initially tried to explore AI art in a non-copyright infringing way and was met with a huge lashback.
So if you weren't aware already, last week I made a video where I asked you all if you wanted to see a review of how I used AI technology in a way in my work that I believed was as ethical as possible, at least at the individual level. Now, almost all of you that responded not only rejected that idea completely, but you expressed your extreme distaste in AI. If you can imagine, it's not fun to see 100 people every day saying that they're disappointed in you when you felt like they loved you and supported you. It's really tough.
Which just gives me huge reservations.
You betrayed the trust of people that respected you. That's what the feeling is. You broke the rules. It's like talking to a child that doesn't understand why they're being yelled at, but they know that they deserve it and they don't want to deserve being yelled at. You ever scolded a kid that knew they did something wrong, but they couldn't articulate why it was wrong? And like, you can see how scared they get. This is the adult version of that. You know what I mean? Like, a kid pushes something off of a table and they're like, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I've never had the rule explained to me in a way that makes sense. But maybe it's wrong, and then people react to them violently, and the kid like yells back at you, no, ah! Like, if you had that moment with a child, that's what this is. This is, I understood taboo, and now I'm getting in trouble for it, and I don't want to be, because I'm good, and no one explained to me that this is bad, and now I'm scared. That you're terrified, and I get it. You got to stop. And you need to think about this and have it articulated to you by anybody. I don't care. Have it articulated to you why this is wrong. You have not thought deeply on it. The fact that you're confused and doing it anyway is like one of those like indicators. You know what I mean? Why did you do that? I don't know, but you did it. Yeah. Well, what? Just tell me why you did it. I just didn't know what would happen. It's little kids being caught. Is what it is. And not being used to being scolded because you're an adult now and you don't fuck up like you did when you were a kid. You know what I mean? I understand. I'm empathizing. But this is an indicator that you fucked up real bad, man. You fucked up real bad. You crossed a line and you betrayed your actual community in doing this and yourself and whatever principles guided the people that you learned from. You know what I mean? You're closing the door on other creatives. You're taking up space. You're clogging up space. You made a program with cheap stolen shit and filled YouTube with it when it could have been going to anyone else. You competed in the market by using unfair tactics. That's cheating. You're cheating people out of work. You're cheating people out of attention. You are cheating. That is why you feel bad. You're breaking the fucking rules, man.
When even the most concerned and ethical artists that I might think of approach it in that way and are attacked because of it. And finally, this video is just sat unreleased and unworked on because I know that once I open this can of worms and start talking about where my stance is on AI art, there's no going back. But I also think there's no other way forward. The problem is in doing this, I feel like I'm committing to delivering something later down the line, and I also actually can't fully commit to that. For example, if this video doesn't perform well, YouTube and its algorithm is teaching me I can't invest the time and resources I would need to make this bigger AI video I would like to explore, because at the moment, YouTube is just a bit of a fight for survival, and I've got to keep the business running. But I believe it's really important to see if we can start having this conversation. I also need an opportunity to say pretty clearly that there are parts of both of those arguments at the start of the video that I agree with and disagree with. So
what if it's not YouTube's fault, brother of Shadiversity? What if you have been engaging in creative products meant to entertain by using uncreative means, and that's resulting in inferior product that people aren't interested in? What if that's the case? What if you've been putting out videos that maybe people have been seeing AI art in? I'm not going to check your comments, but that shit's pretty fucking obvious that it's bad, and your audience is leaving and people want to see it less. Or maybe just that kind of uncanniness and that unquality that AI art has is like, I don't feel it. How much does AI invest it, or how much do you invest in AI? How much AI do you invest in your creative initiative, like from start? You know what I mean? Like, is it part of the whole thing? Design is nuts, because design is the heart of everything. So if you're using AI to start the design chunks, the blueprints are rotten. Like the whole product is bad from the fucking root. It's actually kind of like irreparable at that point, because what the fuck are you even making? Why are you making it? Or if you're just making it to make money, then you're just talking about commodity production. Dude, just fire yourself and like the rest of the people and just fucking hire a design studio to make stuff, or get out of the game. You don't deserve success, and it's good you're failing because you cheated. I don't know how to say that in a nicer way. It makes me feel good that there's a possibility that your channel's dying because people have an inherent understanding that you're trying to game the system and present them with inferior, unethical product. and like they can feel it and they just became naturally less interested. That feels good to me. I hope that's the case, but impossible to prove. But you don't deserve success? I know this video is not going to fail. You're going to get a lot of fucking views on this motherfucker, but I don't think it's going to be worth the money. Your brother apparently needs some help on Night Watch. Maybe you guys could join.
Allow me a couple of minutes to share
together?
with you the grey of where I'm at with AI and AI art. First and foremost, I believe AI art is not a craft. No matter how anyone might attempt to think about it or justify it, you can no more call yourself an artist if the work you're producing is built on the foundation of artificial intelligence than you could call yourself an artist of the skill level of someone whose work you are tracing. It is simply not your work or skill being used. However, I also think AI and AI art is really interesting and exciting, and
I have an art channel. I'm an artist. I don't think that anything about AI or AI creativity is art or creativity. I am sitting in front of a sign that uses the words creativity twice. I find it exciting. Maybe you should reassess the part of you inside that finds it exciting, because that part might be greed. You might be experiencing the sin, this one of the 7 deadly sins that sends you to fucking hell if you're a religious person. Greed. You're experiencing greed. And, you know, I mean, between you and your brother, yeah, greed and pride fucking accomplished if this is the case.
And I feel like I'm not allowed to think that. I believe the villains are not people who use AI art, but the companies and capitalist system that seeks to benefit off of the work of others without consent or transparency. And I believe there is something deeply dystopian about AI imagery and videos, and that we haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg yet as to the destructive possibilities of these technologies. I believe that AI in the hands of manipulative or opportunistic people can be really damaging to the art community and artists as a whole. But I also believe limiting the conversation to AI art is reductive and kind of misses the point, because the bigger picture of what's happening with AI and the possibilities there are all encompassing and hugely monumental. And in that vein, I do believe...
No, that's also a bad argument, because like, let's say like knives, you know, the knife, the humble knife, the most important tool of the kitchen, the chef's knife, right? Thank you, French people, for making that, and also the Japanese for making a better one that no one gets to use. The chef's knife. Staple, right? I love knives for a lot of different reasons. Good for camping, make a little fire, good fire starter, cutting up vegetables and stuff. But I think there's a very strong conversation to be had about when knives are used to murder people. Completely different use of the knife. Doesn't mean the knife has to go away as a tool. More than likely, that aspect that is specifically harm causing, the murder part, probably needs to be taken away. The harm, singular harm aspect can actually be isolated. You can make rules against that thing specifically. The AI art doesn't mean that you can't use AI something the fuck else. It's not even the conversation we have to have. As a matter of fact, illegalizing or fucking really demonizing usage of fucking generative AI systems for the creation of commodity image products doesn't mean that you can't use it for some other fucking thing. You can have the whole conversation about that one specific aspect because it's industry wide. It's not like, oh shit, we can't use generative AI to make art anymore. How are we going to use it to, I don't know, apparently solve diseases some point? I don't know what a disease has to do with stealing art to draw knights. But I don't think that those things are directly connected. Now, someone from that industry wants to go into depth about how like AI is great or bad for virology research or something. Great, go for it. Reach out to me. Tell me about it. But that's a bad argument because we're talking about aspects of use. We're talking about specific insular industries that don't have crossover with the other potential uses of it. It's absurd. And it's to a level where like, are you fucking with me? Because you have to know that. I know you're not like a kid. You know what I mean? You're not like 12. You're not even like 18. I think he's a grown man with a child of his own. Did you actually think about this? And are you trying to trick me and be duplicitous, or are you deceiving yourself? Because No adult would say that out loud and then go, yeah, sure, that follows, with any sense of like, I actually just thought about it for more than 5 seconds.
I do believe that AI, more than anything, has the potential to propel humanity into a post-scarcity environment, to perhaps even work past capitalist system, to tackle things like climate change and diseases in an unprecedented way. But of course, to do that, we can't really trust that that would be done in the hands of a capitalist system. But if there's a way that we can work towards utopia...
Why are you talking about leftism? What? Bro, This is. I got Succession on the brain, but this is the most Succession fucking Kendall Roy ass fucking commentary right here. We live in a capitalist society, so I'm a little nervous about that. I, a literal business owner who's used this to enrich myself at the deficit of workers, am concerned about it. Like, what? So your concern is worth fucking pits in a fucking windstorm.
Utopia over dystopia. I do think that AI can propel us into a future of positive possibilities not even yet imagined. So in short, I am firmly on the fence and feel like it's hard to even know where to begin in opening up a discussion with everyone.
That's just crazy to me.
How heated things get very quickly and how regretful people become for even opening the subject. AI will continue to be developed and to be misused, whether you use it or not, or convince or attack anyone who does or not. And not engaging with it or writing it off outright simply allows that to continue unchecked and further divide.
This is crazy too, because what is this? This is Shadiversity arguments I've heard before. What do you mean writing it off instantly? Like what is this condescension? Like people that have issues with AI haven't thought it out. It didn't fucking appear yesterday in a box on my front doorstep. This has been 2 fucking years now of this shit. Or longer, 2.5, maybe. I can't even fucking remember how long this conversation. It's done. The conversation is over as far as what is happening. You know what I mean? People know. They've had more than enough time to catch up on the fucking realities of the issue. It's theft. It damages the fucking marketplace. It's used to fucking eliminate artists and decrease the overall creative output of the art community. It's generally, in every way, shape, and form, bad for creativity. And it is most often employed by people who don't want to compensate people for their creativity. That's what it does. On every level, it's bad for artists. And all artists, except for a few kind of established, wealthy little ding-dongs with pre-existing audiences who are now transitioning from I have to create for a living to I have to sell products for a living, they seem to like it. You know, people that are just turning out product seem to like it. Oh, I used to be an artist. I have an artist that works for me. That's fucking nuts. And I hate the condescension that like anybody's new to this even. Like, yeah, there's probably people that need to have stuff explained to it because not everybody knows everything, but like this is fucking done. Everyone's thought about it. Everyone in the fucking art industry has been considering it for years. That's why I have so many people that are viewing this shit. A bunch of people are going to watch this video. Almost all of them are going to be pissed off fucking artists. They've thought about it. They've mulled it. They know. What is this writing it off instantly is crazy to me.
Provides our own communities. I get it. This is uncomfortable. All of this is uncomfortable. The world at the moment is extremely uncomfortable, and it's so much easier to dwell firmly in the black or white, especially because they're the spaces in which voices are loudest and it's easiest to gravitate towards. But that's also part of some of the biggest problems we're dealing with today is this division and extremification of two sides of an argument, when really it's so great. I really, really want to investigate AI and AI art in one big think piece where I could take the time to interview artists and people already devastated by the effects of AI and its proliferation, but also interview people who are developing the AI directly and hear what they believe or what the direction of these things are and who's in control. Present meaningful facts and look at timelines and put it all together as best as I can. But that is all a matter.
Why bother? Why ask the artists? Why ask the people? Just ask the AI. Why even bother putting it? Why would you need to talk to people? Just use the fucking AI to make the fucking video, right? I mean, isn't that? Just do it. Just like, what would a fucking artist say if they didn't like AI and just run it through ChatGPT, right? And then use whatever the fucking thing is, Corona or whatever I can't remember what the hell, to just make a video like, oh, this is a person talking about it. Why not do that? What would be the difference, right? If AI can learn right? Wouldn't it be more quicker and more valuable and a better way to spend your time to just ask AI what artists would think? Because it should know. It's been studying artists like artists study artists. Should be the same results. The exact same, right? What's the value in an individual person's opinion when you have access to AI? Literally, tell me. I want that answered more than anything. Why would you ask a fucking artist their opinion if you want to know about AI and you like it? Like, why not just ask the AI? That's the question. Why wouldn't you just ask it? It should know. It studied artists and their opinions, same way that artists study other artists and their opinions. Should be able to give you a better answer overall, really, when it has that many artists to draw from, right? Why would you not just ask the AI?
Massive commitment and a massive cost, and this channel is just trying to get by at the moment, honestly. So in large part, I will be determining whether that's something I could even look at doing based on how this video goes. That's kind of where I'm stuck, and that's where this conversation has to end, because there's nothing more I can do. But things are getting harder to navigate, and I would rather try and be a part of a positive solution and way to explore that than continue to say nothing. So please speak in the comments down below. And I really mean that. Though I know every video says, hey, leave your comments, blah, blah, blah. But this really does depend on that. And I would love to see as many people who have an opinion on this or are undecided on this speak respectfully down below. I want to hear from people who are on the fence and why in both directions.
You better be nice.
And I want to see the arguments and the discussions rise to the surface that you believe in or think are valid by obviously upvoting them. And please downvote people who are just downright rude or disrespectful. I'm sorry for how meandering this video feels like it's become, and how, I don't know, little I feel like I've said in the whole mix of things. But at the same time, I feel like one of the biggest problems and challenges is the grey. And that's what I wanted to try and attempt to tackle in this video, to see if there's more we should do or could do in the future on this channel. And
I appreciate the sort of like pre-gaslighting. Pre-gaslighting your comment section. Like, hey, now, anybody that feels like rude, anybody that's upset, they're probably not worth listening to. All right, somebody that's like angry, I don't think that they're that valuable. Okay, anybody, like, if you're negative about this, I really want positive results when I'm trying to figure out if things are for or against somebody. And I want the negative responses diminished is fucking awesome. Are anybody that agrees with you going to be rude? Do you think anybody's going to be like, oh, I agree with you, piss cunt? What in the fuck? You're pre-setting your fucking results to diminish like a gigantic chunk of them that are people that are legitimately fucking furious with you. And who knows who else gets downvoted just because they don't seem polite enough. Whereas every positive reaction to what you're doing is going to get through because positive reactions are positive. It's very difficult to make an uncivil positive comment. It takes actually a lot of fucking skill. It's called a sideways compliment at best. What in the fuck, bro? My man is on it. What a king, honestly. Like, what, dude, holy shit. New fucking villain just dropped. God damn.
Whether I do or not, I sincerely don't know. But either way, things are going to develop and we're all going to be a part of it in one way or another. So I guess it's my way of saying that I am going to be committing to try and be a part of that in a productive way, in a way that listens to people while voicing my opinions in a respectful way. And I hope that you're willing to do the same. But I'm going to end this video with the same question that I started with. Can we talk about AI? Well, can we?
Can we talk about AI? I mean, can he talk about AI?
That as an artist, I spend my life training myself, and then these AI models train on me. So
I have filmed myself as the voice of reason. Game over. Game over, angry liberal. I have filmed myself as the exasperated voice of reason. I'm just fucking around. God damn it. I'm glad this is almost over.
so you can spend 5 seconds typing in ChatGPT and pretend cosplay that you're a hard-working artist. Where's my paycheck?
Oh my God. I cannot believe that was the video I watched. That was crazy. And fuck. I'll be civil. I literally, it is good to not be freaked out, but some people are going to naturally freak out or say mean things to you because they disagree with you, because disagreements tend to be a little bit more emotionally involving than agreements. kind of the case of things, right? I'll talk to Jazza. Fuck, man. Like, you really let me down there, bud. I feel like legitimately, like, fuck. I guess there is... Friendly Geordies is the only fucking based Australian left on the internet. Australians are generally based by birth. That's disappointing. I think I responded to all the fucking basic argument. I've gone through these arguments again. It's like dusting off an old fucking set of tools to play a sport I haven't gotten involved in a while. Lord. I'm surprised you didn't know Jazza was pro AI. The AI Shad arc started because he was in one of Jazza's videos promoting AI art. Thank you, Shooting Runs Films, for the $5. I missed that one. I thought he was against it. Damn, I think I fucking watched him drawing goddamn cartoons, and I was like, some of this does kind of look like AI. Fuck. God damn, I gave him the fucking benefit of the doubt. That's what betrayal is. Oh, I tricked you. Yeah, man. That proves that you're the good guy. Oh, I guess we're re-answering fucking AI arcs. Okay, I gotta get fucking back on this one. Holy shit! Maybe we reduce the pressure too much. There's like not a lot of. We need way more people fucking coming out against this shit. And maybe I think it's time to maybe switch the tack up from being highly aggressive against people. If you're an AI creator and you're just trying to get by on making shit, I'm gonna critique the fuck out of your stuff. I'm gonna be talking about the AI writer or something like that. I can't remember what the person's name is. Some fucking established author who put out a bunch of books as both himself and a girl version of himself. They're all AI art copy on the cover, on the interior. It's a whole big fucking thing. So I'm going to be checking that out probably this week as well as one very, very large video, very, very controversial video that's probably going to be coming out later this week about some drama shit. I will hold off on announcing that because I don't want to drum it up too much before I know I can finish everything and have it ordered. But I'm working with the Op Block guys on that. So shout out Op Block. Check them out if they're live after this. But yeah, man, AI art, bad forever. And end segment, sorry.
Hope you enjoyed your time on the West Side.